I felt the fight was 50-50, but my thing was I was more familiar with Errol Spence. What I've seen Errol Spence do right in front of my eyes live, just like, damn. What I've seen you do is like, yeah, but who's he fighting? But then I have to come to a conclusion after this week. He's that damn good. It's like,
but I told you that when we talked.
I know, but I'm gonna stick to my word, okay? I know you told me I'm that damn good. I know, right?
I understand you're gonna stick to your word, but at the same time, you wasn't basing your opinion on what you think. You was basing your opinion on what other people think. And I told you that. You was basing your opinion on this guy, what they saying, and then you just follow suit. You just got in line like you do in school when they tell you get in line, and then you walk through the door.
I'm not following line type of thing. Okay.
Basically, what Terrence Crawford did is he described and broke down the casual. He described and broke down what makes up majority of Errol Spence's fan base. A bunch of people who really don't know boxing, who love to jump on cheerleading bandwagons, not really knowing what's going on in the sport, not really caring to learn or study the sport, but just jump on the fad of jockstrap riding and basically just clout chasing for the most part. One thing I found with boxing, people clout chase boxing. Boxing is a sport that people love to pretend to know, but they really don't. And for somebody who really knows the sport, we know instantly if you know what you're talking about, or if you're just a casual, or if you're just regurgitating what you heard other people say. And that's all Errol Spence fans live off of, regurgitating what other people say. The problem is their source of information, or the content creators that they go and get this information from, they don't know shit either. You know what I'm saying? They're not really a fan of the sport, or really don't know it, or just flat out a hater. So all they do is run around and spread misinformation and make themselves look stupid to the educated boxing fan. And that's all Errol Spence fans has been doing the whole time. The fact that they would get upset that you think that Terrence Bud Crawford would beat Errol Spence right now at this moment shows how delusional and stupid that they was acting. Because the fact that they got in their feelings that you sided or you picked another boxer, number one, shows how emotional they are. Number two, shows how immature they are. And number three, shows that they don't know what the hell they're looking for or want when it comes to watching this sport, because they can't even tell you what a dominant champion looks like or what a real champion looks like. And it should not be hard to size these two guys up and say, you know what? I see why people pick Terrence Bud Crawford, but I'm going to roll with Errol Spence. Now, when they pick up that position, that's totally different because that's sensible. You could see it. But the fact that they just thought that you was just totally out of line and it was preposterous that you could even think that Terrence Bud Crawford could beat Errol Spence just shows that you was dealing with straight up casuals the whole freaking time. Nobody who really knows the sports, not a fan of the sport, fan of man. That's all Errol Spence. Hey, look, and they took the fall with him. Because it's all about the show at the end of the day. It wasn't really about being that. And now that you know that Errol Spence has been engineered from the ground up, yes, even black fighters can be engineered and hyped up. They just don't get the luxury to be able to hide as much as people with the complexion for the protection. But yet it does happen. And Errol Spence, while he's talking about Bob Arum is smoke and mirrors, the smoke and mirrors was really at PBC. He was never really that. And this is where people get upset with me. And it's simply this. I'm not here to deny what a person is. If you say this is what you are, I'm going to hold you to it. But I'm also going to test it and see if you really are that. So when somebody comes along saying he's the truth, he's the baddest person on the planet, can't nobody touch him, he's the boogeyman, this and that, I'm not somebody who's going to run up and want to deny you or strip you of what you say. I'd rather just see, is that really it? So when you call him the truth, when I put the pressure on him that the truth should stand up to, it didn't match up. Right now, when I talk about Terrence Bud Crawford, what do I talk about? Seeing him push to his limits, seeing how good he really is. I just don't want to sit around and be a fan of him beating up on easy opponents and say, yay, Crawford. No, I know what I'm looking at. Now I want to see where his levels is at. And that should have been with Errol Spence, but they was caught up in him just being the big fish, the big show, pretending to be the man but not really the man. And it just shows how, you know, these boxing fans, so-called boxing fans, they really don't know shit about the sport. And this boxing match was able to expose so many people on a casual fanboy level. It's ridiculous. Okay? Even people that you respect. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what nobody say. Don't listen to no damn football player, no rapper when it comes to boxing. They don't know shit. I'm sick of them jumping on fights to just get the attention and stuff like that, and then want to chime in, and they're miseducating people and don't know shit about fucking boxing. That's what Errol Spence fans was a victim of. Clout chasing, misinformation, and just flat out hating at the end of the day. And that's why they was left with a pie sliding down their face. Look how many people looked as stupid because they're talking about resumes. It lets you know that they didn't know what the fuck they were talking about. And they were just regurgitating some shit they heard Fanny Nanny say, or this hater over here say, or the hater over there say. But at the end, the cream always rises to the top. When the smoke clears, we'll see who's the last man standing, and we ain't got to question who, what, where, and why. Now we know who the man is. Now we know who the real king at 147 is. We ain't got to question nothing. And all that hating, all that propaganda, all that bashing, all that content made to make Terrence Crawford look bad and stuff, all that shit backfired. And every single, when I say every single thing that they tried to do to Terrence Bud Crawford and say about Terrence Bud Crawford, this is the ironic part, turned out to be everything that they were and everything that they went through. Everything that they tried to make him to be, they turned out to be. I just find that funny as hell. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe,